Okay, good morning. This is Richard Hsu, host of Hsu Untied. This morning, I am really thrilled and honored to have with me as my guest one of my childhood heroes, Marty Krofft, who is one of the founders of Sid and Marty Krofft Productions. Marty, welcome to the program.
Glad to be here. I
So,
love San Francisco.
thank you, thank you. So, Marty, you've had just an amazing career and you've done so many things. What are the one or two highlights that just really leap to your mind when you think about all the things you've done?
Well, the biggest highlight, I've been running this thing for 50 years and I'm still above the grass. So that's a big highlight. There were really so many things beyond the shows and the movies. We created most of Chuck E. Cheese. Did the theme song for Continental Airlines, Proud Bird, The Golden Tail. Worked with John DeLorean. Worked with some great people. Did banana splits with Hanna-Barbera. We did Puffin stuff first. There's our own series. We started on the Dean Martin series on NBC with our puppets. So we've been around. We were the only show that survived 3 World's Fairs, New York, Seattle, and San Antonio. So in San Antonio, we did Coca-Cola built a 1,000-seat theater for us. So we did their pavilion. Work with Kellogg's in a major way. So there's just a lot of stuff that I have to think about and remember. But is there a favorite? I just have a tough time with that one.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, did you know when did you realize that you were going to be, go into the entertainment business? I mean, was that something, when did you realize that?
Last Tuesday. So anyway, I don't know. We were around, we're puppeteers, so we've been around for a long time. We were the opening act with my brother's puppet act. With Judy Garland, we toured. With Sinatra, with Liberace, with the Andrews Sisters from World War II. So, we've been around live first. I think that live experience for years got us to really know what the audience wanted, because we didn't just fly over LA to New York. We were in all these cities. So we had the temperature of the audience. And that's why we were successful with our batting average. We had a better batting average than Joe DiMaggio on the New York Yankees. We did 20 pilots in our whole career. We got 18 on the air, 16 were successful. That's a big batting average.
That's amazing.
So we have over 15 IPs, intellectual properties, probably second to Disney. Most of these producers have one, and they live by it for the rest of their career. So we're fortunate, and we own everything. We own all those kid shows, and they're all available now. And we're in the middle of doing some interesting things with them that we've never done. For example, we never really moved big on the merchandising. We have one deal with Funko, and Funko is the one with the Pops. So about a month or two ago, they released 6 of our characters on NFTs, and in 12 minutes they sold out and grossed about $600,000. So we're still viable. So we come from the past, we're on the present, and the future, who knows? If you want to give God a good laugh, tell him what your plans are. So that's where we're at with that.
How do all these ideas come to you? I mean, you've done so many different things and they're so different. How do these ideas come to you?
I mean, we came up ourselves with most of them. And I guess you have nightmares and you think of these weird things. But, we always were good at that. Never really watched television and copied anybody else. So, you know, we got one Emmy in 100 years, and you know, we got that lifetime achievement. We got the star on Hollywood Boulevard, and nobody cares. You know, they see you still got to audition. If you're in our business, you better have thick skin, because you're auditioning until the day you die. I'm 85.
85.
And who knew I would live? I'm the baby in our family, and I run the company. I've missed in 50 years 2 weeks. So I come every day, and brother doesn't. You know, he mostly works at home. He's been to the office. We're at CBS Radford for 18 years. He's been here 14 times, but he's very creative. He's they call him a genius. And so, you know, we work on creative. I work on both. Work on a bit. Look, I survived as an independent. That's a big thing. We never, you know, one of the biggest people in the business said to me, without mentioning his name, if you had come and done what I do, because this man ran ABC, Paramount, and Disney. He said, if you had done what I do, you'd probably be running a studio by now. But what you did, you went for the fame and not the cash. So I'm still working.
So what are you working on these days? What do you said you're not done yet at all? What are you working on?
I can't talk about what we have for three. We have two things that the biggest companies. We got two new shows, and we've got something else we're doing with our library. Because our library, we have 300 half hours and hours. So we are working on, you know, we're working on a movie and a series in both these companies. So I can't really talk about them now. I'm not allowed to. They haven't been released with PR. So I gotta let these companies not get pissed off at me by opening up my mouth. You have to have me back to hear what they are.
Oh, that sounds good.
Within weeks, they'll be ready to be exposed. So
do you ever think about retiring?
Oh, absolutely. But it won't be at Cedars-Sinai Hospital. I want to fall out of an airplane. That was a lot less painful.
It seems like you really still enjoy what you do.
Well, I don't know. You know, it's not easy. It's, you know, for me, running things is so stressful. But you know what? We've accomplished a lot. We have to be very grateful that we're still around. And, you know, I got 3 daughters that are the next generation. They are something special. And when they go into a room to sell something, they'll never leave without a deal.
That's funny.
No one will say no to them.
Well, when you look back on your career, do you ever think that you found the perfect business that just suits your personality and your creativity? I mean, could you imagine doing anything else?
I don't know if it's all of what you just said. You know, I don't think, you know, the expression is if you want to give God a good laugh, tell him what your plans are. I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah.
We went and we did this. I guess if I was into the cash, you know, I would have done something else.
Right.
Now, this was done out of, I guess, out of love, and you know, and a lot of dedication and a lot of creativity. And, you know, we didn't do this all alone.
Right.
I mean, we had thousands of people working for us, and most of them contributed big time. So, you know, we get the accolades, and they don't share all the fame, I guess. But look, We always went for new people, young people, gave people breaks, employed, I don't know, probably a couple 100,000 people.
Mm.
So, I mean, we've been around doing a bunch of things. And, you know, we could have done more, but we didn't want to do stuff we didn't believe in. That is the reality.
What is it that you enjoy most about what you do? Is it the creativity? Is it the entertainment? What is it that really makes it the most fun for you?
Well, it's a good question with a hard answer. You know, who knows? There's a lot of things. You know, I enjoyed always going after big talent. You know, Jim Nabors, you know, Jack Wilde from Oliver, you know, Charles Nelson Riley. So we always went after the names, and they were great, and we always attracted those kind of people. So that was a big accomplishment that I think, you know, was good for me. I can definitely be proud of that. I was able to do that. Now, when I did it, the agents and the managers weren't as important as they are now. Now they want to be producers, so you're competing with them. But, you know, when we started early in our career, we were the first client as creative artists. And they were the biggest agency with William Morris. So, you know, we have a track record. Of course, I think that the agents got us very few jobs. You know, we're independent. You know, and being independent, you're very dependent. You know, we're not in the club. We're outside the club. So it was an uphill battle. And it wasn't easy getting these shows on the air. But once we got on the air, there were only 3 networks, NBC, ABC, and CBS. So once we got on, all we had to do was knock off the other 2 networks. We did a lot of them. And we did one show for Hanna-Barbera called the, oh Jesus, I forgot what the name of it was, but I will remember before this interview. I was going to say the Monkees, but it wasn't them. Oh, the Banana Splits.
Oh, the Banana Splits, yeah.
It's right before Puff and Stuff. So when we did Puff and Stuff, that was our first show. We lost our tail financially, but it started our TV career. And we wound up with Hasbro, Kellogg's, you know, and wound up doing a movie with Kellogg's and Universal. You know, I mean, at the beginning of our career, Lou Wasserman, the owner of Universal, gave us the 10th floor of the Black Tower of their main offices. We had the entire 10th floor for a year. And he used to come up to my office and sit there and just have some good dialogue.
That's amazing.
So you dealt with, I mean, look, I'll give you one. I'm at the Fontainebleau with Judy Garland, and Sinatra says, come to a cabana, I want to introduce you to somebody. So who was down there? Jimmy Hoffa and his wife. So I bonded with them and became very, very close to them. And I know exactly where he's buried, in my backyard.
So Marty, you know, there's a saying, find a job you love, never work a day in your life. Is that how you feel? Like you basically never really worked, it was all just fun?
Oh, no, I ain't that at all. No, I work. I'm the first one to raise the flag in a day, and I'm the first one and the last one to lower it. So no, this is not easy. And there's painful days. You know, there was a painful day over this last weekend. Yesterday. So there's always something new. You wake up in the morning, you don't know what's going to happen. So that's...
What keeps you going? What gets you up in the morning?
Well, it's not drugs, okay? gets me up in the morning, not even an alarm clock. I'm an early riser. So I get up in the morning. I get up early.
Okay.
And I leave work most of the time late. If we're in production, especially. If we're not, I can leave between like 6 o'clock. We're in production. Who knows? It could be 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock, all night in editing.
Yeah.
I'm hands-on, so I take it from the beginning to the end. So I'm at editing. I'm at the final mix of the shows, and with movies, it's a little different. It's a little different, but not much. There's just a lot more money involved.
Marty, you seem like you have a wonderful sense of humor. Is that something that's helped you keep a good perspective in your career?
Well, I don't know. You better not lose your sense of humor. You got nothing left. You're going to sell a show to Michael Eisner, who ultimately wound up at Disney. He was like my mentor. You don't go in there shaking in your boots. You go in there, you don't talk about the show immediately. You just having a good dialogue. I'm not nervous about it. They can't wait to see us usually, because Sid and myself always argue, not with them, between ourselves. So they're always waiting for entertainment. And we're still, we're working on something big in New York. And so we're still, still moving with the times.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Like I said, there's nothing. Who knows what the future is?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Marty, it's been wonderful chatting with you, and I love to hear your story, and I love the fact that you're still working on things. Please come back and tell me about what you're doing when you've completed it.
You're going to have to buy me lunch at the Tatter's Grill. I'm going to get up to San Francisco. I'm going to get at least a lunch out of this.
I will definitely do that.
All right, so hey, nice to meet you. You're a good interviewer. You asked great questions, and I hope I answered most of them.
This is Richard Hsu and Marty Krofft. Thanks.
Okay.